Good morning, everybody. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and host of our Travel Talk podcast. I'm really excited about today's episode. It's actually our 25th episode, so I'm excited about that. But it's our first of 2024, and I'm thrilled to have a good friend of mine. We've connected on social media and had conversations prior to our talk today. And I've been keeping up with the great things that she's doing with her company. And I said, man, what a great way to start this year. So Bethan Dando is so happy to have you on this show. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking me. It's been a really exciting year. And I'm just happy that you asked me to come on to talk a little bit about it. So thank you for asking me.
Obviously, we've got your accent. I got the Texas accent. Tell us, everybody, where you are.
Yeah, so I'm from the United Kingdom. I'm from South Wales, hence the Welsh accent. So yeah, I am from the United Kingdom.
Oh, wonderful. So as we're talking about where you're located, why don't we give people a little bit about who you are and what you have going on as well?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Bethan Dando. I'm firstly a wife and a mum of 3 boys. So that keeps me very busy indeed. My background is in personal training and Pilates, which was how I actually came to start the business. I was already in that kind of wellness fitness industry. So yeah, that's a little bit about kind of my background. The company was actually launched the end of last year. I already have a business called Pilates Class. We were providing luxury hotels, retreats, corporate events with Pilates instructors to help them with their wellness agendas.
Nice. So Pilates background, obviously, so wellness, health are a huge component to you. And
Yeah,
I noticed you started a new company. So why don't you
I
tell us a little bit about that company and some of the great things you have going on with the Wellbeing Company?
Yeah, absolutely. So Pilates Class was doing really well. As I said, we were working with luxury hotels and brands anyway. But I was really fortunate to be front of house before I launched Pilates Class in a luxury 5-star hotel close to me. So I was already front of house with customers, making sure that their wellness journey was really ingrained from the minute they walked into the leisure club, really trying to understand them on a personal level about what they wanted from their wellness journey in a hotel perspective. So I was really fortunate to work with that hotel and I loved working there. So when I launched Pilates Class, I tended to stay within the hotel kind of ecosystem. And I noticed that actually there was more and more coming through that wasn't just about physical fitness, but about holistic well-being completely. And that kind of touched a little bit on travel as well. So people were traveling from further afield to come just to experience a little bit more of a wellness experience, not just come into a hotel to experience the spa. They were looking for a kind of more integrated wellness experience when they were coming. And the Wellbeing Company launched kind of as a natural progression because not just offering Pilates, I noticed that a lot of hotels were asking about sound healing, meditation, breath work, Tai Chi, yoga. You know, this wasn't just one thing that they wanted. People were looking for experiences to kind of really dig deep into what wellness actually meant for them. So the Wellbeing Company was launched just as a service for those hotels, for those retreat leaders, and for the events teams that we were working alongside of to be able to not change their infrastructure. They were already doing wellness within the hotels, but we were there as an additional support to their operations.
Oh, awesome. So you're talking about the variety of wellness, and obviously you and I both know the importance of wellness, but also wellness travel. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry globally. And I think post-pandemic, you're seeing that number even rise even more so because people are really focused on themselves, their well-being and stuff like that. So quick question, what does kind of wellness mean or look like to you?
I think for me, wellness is different for everybody. I think, saying that wellness is going to be fixed with this solution or this, service, it just isn't going to work like that. I think wellness is providing enough space, whether that be through a service, through a product, but creating a space for people, for guests to just take time to step back a little bit and actually reconnect to themselves regardless of what service you're providing. But I think sustainability, on that note, plays a
Mhm.
big part in that as well, because sustainability and well-being are linked massively. I think, there's no point focusing on well-being for people if we aren't actually thinking about the well-being of the planet, because without one, we can't have the other. So I think sustainability has played a really big role through well-being agendas as well, because a guest wants to know that they're being a part of a bigger solution here. It isn't just about coming to feel well for yourself, because we can do that,
Yeah,
but in the long term, actually, us having an understanding of sustainability practices allows our guests, allows those clients to feel like they are a part of the solution to holistic well-being.
perfect. So I'm glad you segued perfectly into the sustainability topic
Yeah.
that we were going to bring up as well. So you did that so well. So let's talk a little bit about that. The importance of sustainability, the importance of it in general, and why it is a key component of the well-being company, and how
Yeah.
you kind of utilizing that focus.
Well, again, this was something we kind of just happened to do as we were growing, as we were working with hotels, events, retreats.
Mm-hmm.
There was two issues that we came across. One, there wasn't always enough equipment for
Mm-hmm.
larger events for 50, 80, 100, 200 people come into an event. There wasn't necessarily the equipment. And the second thing I noticed was that if there was equipment, it was usually plastic or TPE mats that were being used, right? So that was just something that I wasn't comfortable with personally, for me
Mm-hmm.
using those mats within my company. So we actually then started to look at how we could create sustainable fitness mats that we could then introduce into our practices. So it wasn't necessarily a leg of our business originally. It was just a case of us bringing sustainability to our own services. And then we saw a bigger kind of idea evolve from this, where we thought actually hotels, retreats, events actually can make a big impact by us maybe collecting those plastic mats and retailing them in via a rental, short term or long term, where we could create kind of a circular economy with these mats. So they didn't have to go out and buy very expensive mats, they didn't have to buy plastic mats, they could
Mm-hmm.
just rent sustainable mats as a short term rental for a
Mm-hmm.
retreat, or maybe longer term if they were a club or a studio. And then basically we would collect those old plastic mats, we would retail in sustainable, and then the circular economy would just continue.
Oh, that's awesome. So are you seeing some pretty big success with that program?
Yeah, I think generally, businesses really do want to make a difference, but sometimes sustainability and well-being can feel like such a massive task that we don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
So I think, sometimes it's in the small steps that we
Mm-hmm.
take that make a big difference, right? So it doesn't have to be massive, but actually a small campaign like the mat swap campaign can actually really help you in driving sustainability and wellness in your agenda. So we had a really good year last year. Like I said, we've only just launched, but we reached out to the luxury hotels we were working with and asked them if they'd be willing to donate some of their old, plastic mats that
Mm-hmm.
had seen better days. And we collected them, and we worked with some amazing hotels. So the likes of Harbour Club Chelsea was one of them. They have a Do Good campaign, which basically aligned really well with the Wellbeing Company Sustainability Mat campaign. And it meant that they donated mats to us, and then they got donated into charities such as the Lewis Foundation,
Mm.
which is a foundation here that supports adult cancer patients going through treatment.
Wow.
So those yoga mats actually went into hospitals as well-being gifts, social well-being gifts, as part of this campaign. So yeah, we really want to work towards creating something really big with that mat campaign this year. So we've changed the structure slightly now. So as we support the sustainability operations of events, retreats, hotels, every time a company rents those mats off us now, we donate 3 brand new mats into charities, as
Wow.
well as offer a collection for the old plastic mats. So that's one thing I'm massively excited about, because it not only touches on people's well-being, planet's well-being, but it also talks about social well-being as well. So really, really fun leg of our business, that one.
No, I love that. We were talking off camera prior to this about your social responsibility and the importance it is with the well-being company. And I love and admire that. I think, when you have people who, I think what you got on the most was you just got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
yeah, I think a lot of people focus on, oh my God, it's such a big thing. Start where you are and just start. And I love
Exactly.
love what y'all are doing.
And I think as well, this is a small thing. So clubs aren't usually that big. So you might have 20 or 40 mats in your studio that are maybe rubber, plastic. They're never going to biodegrade. So actually, just a small switch out of 20 mats for sustainability can not only impact the social side, but it just is small steps to positive changes for everyone.
No, definitely. So we've got about 5 minutes or so left, but let's talk about where we talked a little about where you are, and I know you just launched your business, but what are some of your thoughts for 2024?
Oh, well, we've got a really exciting year ahead, actually. We've got lots of other companies that we're working with, again, the social charity side of it. But we've also got a little bit of travel as well. So as you know, we've talked about it a lot. Travel for me has been ingrained in me since I was a child. I grew up in Hong Kong. Some of my earliest memories are being somewhere new, exciting, surrounded by nature. And I think travel plays a massive part in people's well-being. I really do. I think it immerses people in culture. I think it broadens our minds. I think we become more open-minded when we travel. But linking sustainability with travel can also be a little bit of a tricky one, right? Because just in the sheer nature of travel, we're creating carbon footprint. But I think it's really important to touch on that we really want to work with hotels to really dig deep into not just providing wellness experiences in spa, but making sure that as a guest, when you walk in through the door, wellness is integrated into every single department. And I think it's really important that every department within a hotel works in collaboration to give a guest a wellness experience. And one of the best places that I traveled to last year was the Maldives. We went to the South Ariatotle, and it was just phenomenal. And as a guest experience, that was probably one of the ones that stayed with me from the minute we checked in to the stay, to their eco practices, to their own grown foods on the island. I think that has had a massive impact on me, not just in the 2 weeks we were there, but for me leaving, it's impacted my well-being and the way that I view travel myself, and just the things that I want to implement into my own life as a mum, as a business owner, as a wife. And I think that's what travel does, but that's also what sustainability does. So when you marry travel, sustainability, and wellness all together, it is just so impactful for people.
No, I agree. I think it's a triple win for everybody. It's on the planet, the social, and then obviously just better people make the planet better too. So I think that's important for us as well. So as we're wrapping up here, what's the best way for people to connect with you or find you if they want to, maybe take some of this initiatives on themselves?
Absolutely, yes. So LinkedIn is probably the best place to come across. I'm Bethan Dando. I'm the CEO of the Wellbeing Company. So you can find us there, or you can just head to www.thewellbeingcompany.co.uk, and you can find everything on there. But I would really love to connect to people via LinkedIn, or you can find us on all of the social platforms as well underneath the Wellbeing Company.
Perfect. Well, what we're going to do too is when everything is aired and put out there, we'll put your socials there so that people can find you and make it very easy. Because one of the big things about the Travel Talk podcast is I want to connect with not just great individuals like yourself, but how can we help support your business grow? And the Hotel Guide is here because we have a wellness section. We believe in everything that you're talking about and doing. So we're excited about what this podcast is going to mean to. Maybe we'll start trickling some of those things, and maybe this becomes that pebble that goes into the water that has that ripple effect. I would love to see how that happens as well.
Absolutely. And I'm just super excited for hotels as well, because I know that there is going to be a big growth in the focus on wellness and sustainability, not just in wellness hotels, but in, general hotels as well. And I think for hotels that haven't considered wellness and sustainability in their KPIs for the next couple of years ahead, then it is really something that they need to look into.
No, well, perfect. Well, Bethan, I really thank you for being on the podcast today. I'm excited about not only where you're going personally, but where your company is going to be going, the impact that it's going to have positively in this world. And I'm so excited that we connected. I'm excited to have you on the podcast. I actually believe this won't be the first. This was the first, but it won't be the last time that you're on our show. So I'm excited
Oh,
about
thank
that.
you. And I just have to say, this is my first podcast, so thank you for asking me. It's been a really great experience.
Awesome. I don't think it'll be your last. So
Thanks.
great job. Thank you for being on the show. And for everybody out there, make sure you're following us at thehotelguide.com, all our social channels as well. And when you're seeing this podcast, share it. And let's make a difference in this world together. So again, thank you. And remember, travel and make some memories.